Hello students, I welcome you all to this session. I am Vishali Kikan and today in this session we will be talking about the basic semiconductor devices. Okay, in the previous video we have already introduced the semiconductor. I told you what is the difference between the semiconductor metals and insulators, and today in this video we will be seeing the various devices. So the contents are resistor, capacitor, diode, BJT and MOS transistor. Now in the previous video I have already given you the relationship between the doping concentration and the resistance. I hope you are recalling the previous video and the last section of the previous video. If you can't recall it, you should go back and watch it first so that the property of resistance will be becoming more clear to you. Okay, so first of all, resistor. Okay, the symbolic representation of resistor is like this. We all know it. Now here if I have taken this rod of length L, height h and width W, so resistance is given by rho L upon area. So what is the area here? Area is h into width. So WH is the area. So resistance is given by rho L upon W into h. Okay, where rho is the resistivity. Okay, so this is resistance. Now resistors are made on the chips by doping silicon or by polysilicon on an IC chip. So these are two methods by which we can fabricate the resistor, and resistance is determined by the length, line, width, height and the dopant concentration as well. I have already talked about the dependence of resistance on the dopant concentration in the previous video, and let me tell you, whenever we are working with the VLSI devices, we have to fabricate the devices based upon a predefined resistance. We have to control the resistance so that all of the electronic properties will be controlled. So the resistance is nearly around 10 ohms. So this resistance we can control with the help of doping concentration as well as polysilicon. So resistance is really important parameter for all of the electronic properties. Now coming to the capacitors. So here we have two plates. So these are two plates. So here this is the symbolic representation of the capacitor. The distance between the two plates are d. Now here height of this plate is h and the width is L. So now here the capacitance is given by epsilon A upon d. We know the formula to find out capacitance. So here epsilon is dielectric constant, and what is area? Area is this h multiplied by L. So C is epsilon HL upon d, where epsilon is dielectric constant. Now coming to the capacitors. Capacitors are actually the charge storage devices. So these are also the memory devices when I am talking about DRAM. In the DRAM they will be acting as the memory devices. So here we in the VLSI industry we have the challenge to reduce the capacitor size while keeping the capacitance intact. Okay, because the capacitance depend upon the area also. Okay, it depends upon the length parameter as well. So we have to find out high dielectric materials. Okay, so these are various types of capacitors. First is parallel plate capacitor. So here whenever I have silicon, and in the silicon whenever I have oxide layer and on that I have polysilicon layer, it will be forming the parallel plate capacitor. I will be telling you in the fabrication of MOS transistor we will be using this type of structure and it will be forming a capacitor. So here we have stacked capacitor as well. So these are the polysilicon layers. It are acting as the stacked capacitor. Okay, so now we have deep trench capacitor as well. So here you can see we have the polysilicon layer which is like a deep trench in the dielectric layer. So here you can see we have the heavily doped silicon here, and here we have the polysilicon layer. Okay, so this is how we can have the deep trench capacitor. So now metal interconnection and RC delay. So whenever we are having the metal interconnection with the VLSI chips, I told you that we have to connect the chips with the outside environment. For that we will be connecting it with the metals. So whenever we are having the metals connected to it, it will be forming the capacitance, and with the help of the resistance and capacitance, we know RC gives some delay. So whenever we have some time constant RC, this will be giving some delay, and whenever we have to operate the transistor or MOS or the VLSI chip for the switching purposes, there will be some delay. Okay, so this delay we have to reduce, and we are actually researching upon it and how we can reduce this delay to a very small value. We have already come to a very small value, but we are still researching on that how we can reduce this RC delay as much as we can. Now coming to the diode. Diode is the combination of P or N type of substrate. So whenever we have P type of material, N type of material, they are combining. So actually it is P type of silicon, N type of silicon. Whenever they are combining, it will be forming the PN type of junction at the combination. So whenever they have the combination at the junction, they will be forming a layer. So this is the PN junction. So it allows the electric current only when it is positively biased, or it is also called the forward biased. So in the case of forward biased only, it will be acting as a switch, and it will be allowing full current to pass through it. And whenever it is reverse biased, so at that time it will be acting as an open switch, so it will be not allowing any current to pass through it, and it will be having infinite resistance at that time. So you can see here, this is the symbolic representation of the diode. It can be represented as a switch. It can be on or off based upon the biasing. So if I am having V1 is greater than V2, so here V1 is greater than V2, which means we have forward biasing, so that time current will pass through. When V1 is less than V2, so here you can see at the positive terminal I am supplying the lesser voltage, so it is reverse bias, so here no current will be passing. Okay, so this is how we can find out the characteristics of the diode. So here I told you the P type of semiconductor is switched, it is in combination with the N type of semiconductor. So here we will be having the transition region, and here we are having some immobile ions. So in the P region we have negative immobile ions, and in the N region we have positive immobile ions. So this is called the transition region. Till that point we have the immobile ions in the P substrate, and till the point we have positive immobile ions in the N substrate. This region is called the transition region. Okay, so this is the representation of the voltage. So here the voltages will be increasing like this, and the intrinsic potential is given by this formula KT upon Q ln Na Nd upon Ni square. So Na is the acceptor, number of acceptor ions, and Nd is the number of donator ions. So actually it is the P type element concentration and N type atom concentration. Okay, so T is temperature, Q is charge, and Ni is the intrinsic carrier concentration. So we have found out for silicon V0 is 0.7 volt. So this is the IV curve of the diode. So at the 0.7 volt it will be switching on. It requires 0.7 volt to turn on, and after that it is forward biased and it will be acting as an on switch. So it will be allowing infinite current to pass through it. Okay. So before that it will be acting as infinite resistance device. Now coming to the BJT. So BJT we have two types, PNP or NPN, and it will be acting as a switch, as an amplifier, and it can be acting as an analog circuit as well. So it is fast and it is a high power device. But let me tell you, in the case of transistor or BJT, we have both majority and minority type of carriers which are supplying the current. Okay, so whenever voltages are there, it is due to both majority as well as minority charge carriers. So there are two type of transistor, NPN and this is PNP. So this is the symbolic representation of NPN transistor, this is the symbolic representation of PNP transistor. Now here you can see this is NPN. Now here we have emitter, base and collector. Okay, so these are three layers which are sandwiched together and it will be forming the transistor. So now coming to the NPN bipolar transistor, you can see on the semiconductor in the VLSI industry, we are fabricating the NPN bipolar transistor, and it will be looking like this. We will be seeing in detail how we can fabricate the NPN transistor in the silicon. So here we will be talking about it in the next, or like in some another video. So I hope you will be staying with me. So this is another type of NPN transistor which is called sidewall base contact NPN bipolar transistor. I will be talking about all of these things in detail, but as of now you should know how these things look like in the VLSI chip. Okay, so this is how we are making, with the help of doping we will be making the NPN transistor, and how we will be making the particular type of doping here. So we will be talking in detail about it in the next video. So these are the references. I hope you will be going through them, and I hope you like this video. If you like it, you can share it with your friends, subscribe the channel, and you can push the like button. Thank you so much.